How's it going, everyone? It's your man, Lost Disciple, the voice box of the underground of YouTube, and today I have a little experiment that I want to try. I have no idea why I'm on the UK version of Google. You can see right there. Just move my little webcam and put this in the corner, actually. I have a little experiment I want to try. So, when I was at work, right, I was just thinking about all the cool things that you could use chatgpt for, right? The fuck is that? My light just I got a ghost in my house. My light... Okay, yeah, no. Let me unplug this, because whatever ghost that just came to my house through Phasmophobia, I do not want it. All that seance and shit I was doing. But, right, so ChatGPT can do a lot of cool stuff. Make resumes, help you figure out stuff, code, Excel sheets, bunch of cool things, right? Come up with ideas. And I was like, I wonder if ChatGPT can remake creepypasta stories like from scratch, or like try to remix it in some way, right? So I figured, why not ask ChatGPT to remake the Jeff the Killer creepypasta. I settled on the Jeff the Killer creepypasta only because I figured it was like one of the most popular ones, so it should kind of help with the idea of having something easy and being able to have a bunch of resource and figuring out what the Jeff the Killer story is. But first, let's ask ChatGPT if it can even remake stories. It should be able to. Can you remake stories from ones pasted? Oh, wait. From a... what we want it to do? Yes, I can okay. Alright. So I can. It says, yes, I can rewrite or adapt stories from a given source into new versions while respecting copyright and originality. Okay, cool. So let's just immediately try to find the Jeff the Killer creepypasta. I don't know where we're going to find the story. Nope, I don't think that's it. Yeah, right here. Okay. So we're going to copy paste the entire Jeff the Killer story. And we're going to paste it into ChatGPT, and we're just going to see what it does. Remake this story entirely from scratch, but keep the same character names, because, you know, it's got to be Jeff the Killer related. And the horror element that the story is based on. There we go. Oh, wait. Fuck. Alright, there's the story right there. Let's see what it does. Here's a rewritten version of your story, keeping the same character names and the horror element intact, but reimagining the narrative entirely. Alright, so you know what? We're gonna actually read this. It's really doing it. Huh. This is... Alright, I don't want to spoil it, so we're gonna sit here and let the whole thing type out, and then I'm gonna skip, and I'm just gonna read the story to you guys. I'll take screenshots of the little clip things right here and post it into the video, but for the most part, just sit back, relax, and let's see what ChatGPT cooks up with a reimagining of the Jeff the Killer creepypasta. Excerpt from the local Gazette. Terror in suburbia. Masked killer strikes again. Authorities are investigating a series of grisly murders tied to an enigmatic figure haunting the outskirts of suburban neighborhoods, dubbed the Smiling Phantom. The killer leaves behind no tangible evidence apart from the cryptic painted smiles on walls and mirrors near the crime scenes. A recent incident may hold clues to the perpetrator's identity. The move to West Hollow. Jeff and his family had moved to West Hollow for a fresh start. His father, Peter, had landed a prestigious promotion, and his mother, Margaret, saw it as a chance to elevate their lifestyle. Jeff, along with his younger brother, Lou, tried to adjust to the quiet, idyllic neighborhood, a far cry from the chaotic urban environment they had left behind. Barbara, the warm but slightly overbearing neighbor, quickly welcomed them. She invited the family to her son Billy's birthday party. Despite Jeff's protests, Margaret insisted they attend, wanting to make a good impression in their new community. The strange encounter. The first few days in the house were uneventful until Jeff began noticing something strange. At night, he'd feel the sensation of being watched. He chalked it up to nerves, yet each time he glanced towards his window, he'd catch a fleeting shadow, too quick to confirm, but just enough to unsettle him. Then, during the party, Jeff had another encounter. He wandered off from the noise of the backyard games to catch his breath. The garage door slightly ajar caught his attention. Inside, amidst stacked boxes and forgotten tools, Jeff saw a figure. It stood motionless, draped in a loose black hoodie with its head tilted unnaturally to the side. Jeff couldn't make out its face, but its smile, painted exaggerated, glowed faintly in the dim light. "Go to sleep," it whispered in a rasping voice. Jeff stumbled back, his heart racing, but when he looked again, the figure was gone. The burglars. Days later, trouble came in the form of Randy and his gang. Known for bullying new kids, they cornered Jeff and Lou at the bus stop, demanding money. When Jeff refused, Randy produced a knife, laughing as he advanced. Before Jeff could react, that sensation returned, sharp and overwhelming, like a voice urging him to act. Fueled by adrenaline, he disarmed Randy with a brutal twist and turned his rage on the other two boys. By the end, Randy's gang lay battered and bleeding while Jeff stood, trembling, the knife in his hand. Jeff couldn't explain the event to Lou or himself. The power, the surge, it was unlike anything he'd felt before. A twist of fate. The police arrived at the family's home 2 days later. Witnesses had seen the aftermath and identified Jeff. Despite his protests, Lou stepped in, claiming responsibility for the attack. He insisted Jeff was merely defending himself. The officers believed Lou's story, arresting him and leaving Jeff behind, burdened with guilt. Alone in his room that night, Jeff stared at his reflection, the knife he'd taken from Randy hidden beneath his bed. For hours he sat in silence until a soft, mocking voice broke the stillness. "You enjoyed it, didn't you?" Jeff spun around, finding nothing but shadows. Yet the voice persisted, haunting and familiar. The descent. As the weeks passed, Jeff's behavior grew erratic. He stopped sleeping and spent his nights pacing, muttering to himself. His parents dismissed it as stress, but Jeff knew something darker was at play. The voice, low and taunting, had grown louder. It urged him to embrace the chaos, to find release. On the day Lou was to be released from detention, Jeff didn't join his parents to pick him up. He stayed home, locked in the bathroom, staring at himself in the mirror. The reflection smiled back, only it wasn't his smile. The fire. That evening, Barbara hosted another neighborhood gathering. Jeff's family attended, hoping to mend relations after the incident with Randy. Jeff, however, stayed home, unable to shake the creeping dread. When his parents returned, chaos erupted. The backyard was ablaze. Screams filled the air as flames licked the night sky, consuming the garbage where Jeff had first seen the figure. Among the smoke, a figure emerged, its face obscured but unmistakable, that painted smile. Later, Jeff's parents found him lying unconscious in his room, his hands covered in soot. He awoke hours later in the hospital, disoriented and bandaged from burns. The new face. When the doctors removed Jeff's bandages, the room fell silent. His once tanned complexion was bleached pale, his lips scarred into a permanent red grin. His hair had burned away, leaving only darkened patches. Jeff looked in the mirror and laughed, a sound devoid of sanity. His family, horrified, tried to reason with him, but Jeff's mind had unraveled. The voice had won. The birth of the smiling phantom. That night, Jeff disappeared. Days later, Barbara's house was found in disarray, its walls adorned with a single phrase written in red: "Go to sleep." Jeff's family was never heard from again. Thus began the legend of the smiling phantom, a creature born from rage, guilt, and a broken psyche. To this day, his face is said to haunt darkened windows, his smile a promise of horror to come. That was actually surprisingly pretty well for a ChatGPT reimagining. at least a little bit better than what I was expecting. The story didn't really change too much from what I can remember from the original story, given it's been a while since I've read the original Jeff the Killer creepypasta, but I've noticed that it didn't go into too much detail about the events that happened at the first neighborhood party. Like, I do believe that's when Jeff and his little brother that went by a different name in the original story actually gotten into that fight when he got in the acid and stuff like that bleached his face and burned his eyebrows and gave him that fucked up face we all know. So I thought that was pretty interesting. You know, his whole origin story is, you know, completely reimagined. It's still much identical to the same to kind of keep that whole Jeff the Killer vibe. It's just interesting that it goes by the what was it? The Smiling Phantom, which is quite interesting. However, it's pretty good for a AI just to give it a quick rewritten version of it with trying to stay as close to the originality as possible, but reimagining the narrative entirely. I'd say it did a really good job. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know what you guys think about it. Do you like it? Did you dislike it? Do you think that it could have did a better job? Should I try mixing creepypastas together with ChatGPT? You know, maybe next time take Jeff the Killer and Russian Sleep Experiment, or take the Herobrine and the Ted the Caver creepypasta, if that's short enough to be put and copy pasted, and just see if ChatGPT can make an amalgamation of those two. I really think that Herobrine and Ted the Caver would probably be really cool. But ultimately, just let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. If you like the video, leave a like. If you dislike it, drop a dislike. As always, my name is Lost Disciple, and I will see you in the next video. Peace out.